So with tomatoes, you want to pay extra close attention to the nitrogen levels in the soil. If you have too much nitrogen in the soil, the plants will grow with too much full.
Dude, what are you doing
I'm recording a video for YouTube.
with this lighting?
Well, how am I supposed to light it?
Let me show you. When you're filming outside, the number one thing you want to keep in mind is never allow the sun to hit your face directly without something in between it. And that's why I'm backlighting myself. And this means having the sun shining down onto the back of my head rather than having the sun shine directly onto my face. The sun shining directly into your face usually causes a very harsh lighting and is not very pleasing to the eyes, as you saw in Noah's tomato video, which you should go check out his tomato channel. It's called Tomatoes with Noah. Amazing videos, awesome content. Now, back to seriousness. You might have heard that backlighting is bad because it makes your subject really dark and your background really bright. We'll ignore that. If you have a camera that allows you to set exposure manually, that's fine. You can expose your subject correctly and your background is at whatever exposure it is. If it's a little bright, doesn't matter. Your subject is what people are supposed to be looking at. And it gives separation when you have sun shining on the back of the head. That sun creates sort of a halo around the person, giving the separation between the background and the subject, which is very important, and it makes sure that people are constantly looking at the subject rather than something in the background like a squirrel. So I'm still backlit here in this shot, but I'm using another trick, and this is using a $20 5-in-1 reflector to reflect light onto my face. So now this allows for my face to be better exposed in the shot, and so we can keep the background at a lower exposure so there's more detail in the background and my face is not all dark and underexposed. So this allows for a great look in a shot, and all you need is a cheap $20 reflector. Oftentimes they're 5-in-1s, which means you get a couple different reflector sides, a black side which absorbs light, and a diffuser which you can use to diffuse the sun so that it can hit directly onto your face, but through a diffuser. However, I would suggest you use our next tip. Right here, there's a cloud blocking the sun, and this gives us some nice, even, smooth, diffused lighting. It's like how you don't just blast a hard spot onto the side of somebody's face in a studio. Instead, you take a nice diffused light and shine it across the face, which gives a better look. It smooths out the face a little bit. It still leaves some definition, but it creates a more pleasing look. So when it's cloudy out, that's always a good time to film. So now what if you're not blessed with a cloudy day? No problem. All you need to do is find some shade. This can be a shade of a tree, or if you do not live out in the country, you can be in the shade of a building. Doesn't matter as long as it's some sort of shade to diffuse the light. What you have to keep in mind is you do not want whatever's giving you shade to cause dappling, which is where the shade still lets light through in some spots without diffusing it at all, which creates hot spots, which don't look good. That's what harsh sun looks like, and we really want to avoid that. So as I said, tree or house doesn't matter as long as it's something that provides you with shade. As you can see, lighting outdoors is pretty simple. There are a few things you need to keep in mind, like staying out of harsh sun, making sure you're in the shade most of the time, or if you choose to spend a little money on a reflector, using a reflector and backlighting, or using the reflector to add a little bit of definition to your subject. It can all be done quite easily and quite cheaply. And there are just these few tips you need to keep in mind, and your videos will always look good outside. Now, if you liked this video and you want to see more content like this, click down below on the subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you don't miss any further videos. And we also want to hear from you. Comment down below. Talk about your experiences filming outside. What is your favorite technique to getting good lighting with just sunlight? It would be great to hear from you. I'm sure everybody would love to read it and learn from your comment. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.